Why would Jesus, the embodiment of grace and compassion, curse a seemingly innocent fig tree and then unleash righteous fury within the sacred walls of the temple? These two events, separated by mere hours and a short walk through Jerusalem's ancient streets, often perplex readers. On the surface, they appear to be acts of sudden anger, perhaps even uncharacteristic for the Son of God. Yet the Gospel of Mark deliberately places them in immediate succession, inviting us to look beyond the surface and discover a profound, unified message. What deeper truth was Jesus revealing through these startling symbolic actions? If you're finding value in this exploration of biblical truth, please like this video and subscribe to the Bible Stories for You to continue this journey of discovery with us. Your support helps us share these timeless narratives and their powerful lessons with a wider audience, illuminating the ancient texts for contemporary hearts eager to understand God's enduring word. The story unfolds as Jesus enters Jerusalem during Passover week, a time of immense religious fervor. As he journeys from Bethany, he sees a fig tree by the roadside, full of leaves promising sweet fruit. Yet upon closer inspection, it bears nothing but foliage. In a moment that stuns his disciples, Jesus declares, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." This act, seemingly harsh, was not a fit of pique directed at a plant, but a living parable, a stark visual prophecy about spiritual barrenness. The fig tree, with its abundant leaves but utter lack of fruit, became a potent symbol of outward religiosity devoid of inner substance. Immediately following this dramatic encounter, Jesus enters the temple courts. What he finds there is not a sanctuary of prayer, but a bustling marketplace. Money changers and merchants selling sacrificial animals had set up shop within the court of the Gentiles. This area, specifically designated for non-Jews to come and pray, had been transformed into a noisy bazaar, effectively blocking their access to God. The very space intended to welcome all nations into worship had become a barrier, a place where profit overshadowed piety. Jesus, witnessing this egregious distortion of sacred space, reacted with an intensity that shocked onlookers. He overturned the tables of the money changers and the seats of those selling doves, driving out all who were buying and selling. His words echoed the ancient prophets, particularly Jeremiah, who had warned the people that they had turned God's house into a den of robbers. Jeremiah 7:11. This was not merely about commercial activity, it was about systemic corruption. The religious leaders who benefited from this system had allowed the pursuit of gain to eclipse the true purpose of the temple, to be a house of prayer for all nations, as Isaiah 56:7 prophesied. The fig tree and the temple cleansing are inextricably linked. Just as the fig tree appeared vibrant and alive with leaves yet produced no fruit, the temple system, with its elaborate rituals and outward show of piety, had become spiritually barren. It was a magnificent structure, rich in tradition, but it had failed in its ultimate purpose. It was not bringing people closer to God. Instead, it was exploiting them and excluding those whom God intended to draw in. The leaders, much like the fig tree, were full of outward display, but lacked the fruit of righteousness, justice, and true worship. Jesus' actions were a direct confrontation with this empty religion. He was fulfilling the prophecy of Malachi 3:1, where it speaks of the Lord suddenly coming to his temple to purify it. His cleansing was not just a physical act, it was a prophetic judgment, exposing the hypocrisy and spiritual decay that had taken root. By clearing the court of the Gentiles, he was symbolically tearing down the barriers that prevented the nations from accessing God. He was declaring that true worship transcended ritual and commerce, reaching into the heart of faith and relationship. The withered fig tree, found dry and lifeless the following day, solidified this powerful message. A system that fails to bear the fruit of God's purpose faces divine judgment. Ultimately, Jesus' actions at the fig tree and in the temple reveal a timeless truth. God values genuine fruitfulness over outward appearance. Our faith is not meant to be a show of leaves, but a life rich in the fruit of love, justice, and compassion. He was not just cleansing a building, he was exposing empty religion and paving the way for a new covenant, where access to God would be torn open for all through his own sacrifice. Let this message serve as both a warning and a profound invitation to bear true fruit for God's glory.